Hey, everybody. Yes, it's been a while. Can the one person that's in here now hear me? I'm going to assume you can hear me. Hey, everybody. Yes, thank you. I appreciate that. It means a lot. How's everyone doing? All two of you. That's okay. We just started. Oh, man. These 34-hour restarts, I tell you, monotonous at times. That's why I was looking forward to doing this today. All right. It's not raining now, which is nice. It was. I'm in Alabama today. Like I said, doing a 34-hour restart on my hours. Then I'll pick up a load here in Alabama. Then I'm heading up to Pennsylvania. That should be interesting. So how y'all doing? Have you guys seen the documentary yet? Trucking on Steak and Eggs? Now, those that aren't able to make the live today, I'm sure you'll be watching on the replay that I'll post. So I'm still going to put information out here. So whether you're here live, you can ask questions. Please feel free to ask me any questions you want. And with that, I'm going to start putting some information out now. Okay. One of the questions I get a lot. Okay, let's see. Hold on. Dawn, I'll be getting ready for my shift in a couple hours. Right on. Got to work, right? Got to work, make the money, get the food, eat the steaks, get the eggs. So, one of the questions I get a lot, and I mean, this is probably the most repetitive question that I get. Why did I make a documentary with no experience? And the answer to that is really simple. The purpose of the documentary, Trucking on Steak and Eggs, it's on this channel. If you haven't seen it, it's a 2-hour document. Well, a little over 2 hours. It's a 136-minute runtime. Saving lives. That's the main purpose why I made it. And the idea is to get health experts, fitness experts, and social media influencers that have experience for a long time in a ketogenic way of eating, whether that be lion diet, carnivore, ketovore, keto, animal based, to get that information out there from their perspectives as to what truck drivers should be eating out here for our health. Because, as the documentary states and shows, even with a dramatic reenactment, if a truck driver has a heart attack out on the road, you're just traveling down the highway, you and your family, you're going to the store, you're going to a movie, you're going to the mall, you're just out there doing what people do. And if that truck driver next to you has a heart attack, statistically, there's a real good chance you and your family are not going to survive their heart attack. Now, the U.S. Department of Transportation does publish these statistics. They are easily able to be looked up. And the number of innocent people killed because a truck driver has a medical emergency, which is usually attributed to a heart attack, is astronomical. That's right. You could talk to your loved one today, and later tonight, they may not come back if a truck driver has a heart attack next to them and they die. So not only are we saving lives of truck drivers, we're saving lives of you and your family as well. Done. You saw most of it. Very good. Thank you. I appreciate that. I see people pop in, pop out. You know, if you pop in, ask a question. We can get this going a little more. It usually takes a little bit to get these going, but then once they get going, we can go for a couple hours. It happens. So I'm open book. Ask me any question you want. Any question. Yes. Y'all see? Yep. I went with the bald look. That's right. I did. My wife gave me an ultimatum of, you can't do that. Anyone who knows me knows that's probably not the thing to say to me. Never say you can't, because I will find a way to make it happen. Just like people told me you can't make a documentary with no experience. I think I proved them wrong. Don't you? Granted, it's not all the high tech, all the, the best camera equipment out there, all the expensive editing software. It's none of that. But I did it, and that's an accomplishment that I will always have. And the reason I did it, like I said, is to save lives. So the other question I get quite a bit is, what camera did I use to film most of this documentary? The answer is my cell phone. And those who I interviewed and had in the documentary can attest to you that I used my cell phone to record them. Except for the people that submitted their videos to me via email or instant messenger, because I wanted more people included. And I've got a list of people that wanted to be in the documentary, couldn't because of time constraints, blah, blah, blah. So, as I said in the documentary, there is a sequel coming. I'll start filming in January with real equipment this time, not my cell phone. So January we'll start the sequel. The sequel is Trucking on Steak and Eggs, Back to the Bacon. See, sequel number 2. Get it? Back to the Bacon. So one of the people that will definitely be in the sequel that was not in the original is Bella, Steak and Butter Gal. Has confirmed that she will be in the sequel. Looking forward to that. She has a very interesting story, and I look forward to being able to present it to y'all in the sequel documentary. The truck. Now, I don't know if y'all can tell. You've seen my videos before. I'm in a different truck. My truck, which was a Kenworth, developed a transmission issue. Actually, it ended up being an automatic clutch that had to be replaced. So they put me in this truck temporarily, and then the president of the company said, if you like the truck, you can keep the truck. I like the truck. Guess what? I moved everything in from the old truck to this truck. I now live in this truck. And this is look at the seats. Very comfortable. This one's a Peterbilt. Now, another thing I like about this truck is it has more real estate on the outside for the awesome graphics that are coming. Yes, the sequel will feature the truck with the graphics. It is going to be a educational graphic package to promote healthy eating for truck drivers, to restore their health, and to reverse their type 2 diabetes. That's right. We're going to save lives. And this truck is going to be instrumental in that. You can't miss it. The graphics we've got designed are incredible. You're going to love this truck when it's done. This will be known as the Carnivore truck. And it will go East Coast to West Coast, across the United States, in the middle of the United States, northern, southern, eastern, western. It's going across the 48 continuous states. So there's a good chance you'll see it out there. The truck itself, we're going to try and get into some different shows this coming year for 2025, trucking shows. That's going to be exciting. I'm going to be doing live filming with different social media influencers, health professionals, fitness experts, with the truck. So I'm sure that some of it will be on their channels as well, because they're going to come out and film with the truck. And we're really looking forward to this. This is going to be something exciting, something different for the community and different for truck drivers. Yes, so there's the update about the sequel. Any questions at all? And Dawn, I see you just buzzed your hair off. Easy maintenance, right? That's what I say. Easy maintenance. So I have been getting my weight back in check. Those who watch the documentary know, because I explained it at the end. For about 6 months-ish, I was eating 1 cup of personal cup size of Lucky Charms or Frosted Flakes. And the reason I did that was twofold. One, to show that that study that they put out there that said that eating Lucky Charms is healthier than eating red meat is inaccurate. Highly inaccurate. And just like grains fatten up cattle and livestock, it does the same thing with humans. I'm an example of that. I gained weight tremendously. So they lied to you, all in the name of profit, or maybe some other nefarious project they're working on. Who knows? They want you sick. They don't want you healthy. That's for sure. So I'm looking forward to this new administration focusing on Americans' health. Because let's face it, it's been in the shitter for a while. The information out there that's been falsified, paid off by the sugar industry with Ansel Keys, the researchers that all said saturated fats, red meat, some say eggs, are bad for you, will cause a heart attack, will clog your arteries, will give you this, will give you that. They were wrong. And they were purposefully wrong because they were paid. So you have to take your own health into your own hands. It's not the responsibility of your doctor. It's not the responsibility of YouTube influencers. And it's not the responsibility of the government. Although, I will say this, the new administration coming in is really going to hammer on driver health. Now, I say driver health because they're going to focus on American health. And we're American drivers. So the food that they're focusing on to get all this crap out of, it's going to benefit us. Now, I am not a proponent of eating highly processed food. No. And no, I'm not eating the Lucky Charms and Frosted Flakes and all that anymore. That was more of a experiment. The old N=1 experiment, right? Got to do it on yourself. Since there's no human studies, blah, 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 blah. So, it's true. Eating cereal will fatten you up. It will also make you less healthy. So what's the lesson that we learn? Don't eat cereal. Eat steak, eat eggs, eat meat, eat eggs. And yes, seafood. Now, this is a controversial topic for some people. I don't know why. It is so simple. Seafood is still meat. Okay? Seafood is meat. I don't know how to make it any clearer. So, I do enjoy seafood from time to time. I enjoy salmon. I love salmon. I love shrimp. I love crab. Oysters are good too. Mussels are good. Clams are good. They're packed full of nutrients, vitamins, minerals, things that our body can absorb. Nutrient-wise, the most nutrient-dense food on the planet is meat and eggs. That's just it. Meat and eggs. There is no such thing as an essential carbohydrate. And there is no need for sugar in the body. Gluconeogenesis gives us the glucose that our body needs to generate. Bart Kay is someone who knows a lot about that. And if you don't know who Bart Kay is, check his channel out on YouTube, because you're going to learn a lot. He is controversial. That is for sure. He's a unique individual, but he's very intelligent. That's Professor Bart Kay. Very intelligent individual. And he can tell you what you want to know about carnivore, about eating meat, about eating eggs. And he will tell you point blank, there is no such thing as an essential carbohydrate, and there is no need for sugar in your body. End of story. Now, people I've met on this journey have been healing their bodies by eating meat and eggs, this kind of lifestyle. And I went through it. I was vegan for 7 years, as a lot of you know that follow me here. And it ruined my health. So I went carnivore for 2 years almost. And I healed. I healed every medical issue I had. And then I went back to eating the cereal because I had gotten so skinny that I could fall into the toilet. So my doctor had this bright idea that she thought maybe cancer was coming into the picture. And so she gave me 2 choices. One choice, fatten up. Second choice, cancer testing. Well, I decided to go with fattening up because it gave me the opportunity to eat the cereal and see for myself what the truth was about this Lucky Charms being healthier than eating red meat. And since I had healed from eating red meat, I was all for it. I wanted to know. I wanted to discover this firsthand. So I started eating the cereal and I started getting fatter. Okay, doctor was satisfied. I gained the poundage that she wanted me to within the 30 days. End of story. She's like, nope, it's not going to be cancer. You wouldn't be able to gain weight like that. Nope, Sorry. So good. No cancer testing. But it gave me the chance to test the theory about the cereal versus the meat. You fatten up eating grains. There's no way around it. And grains, by the way, have glyphosate, as do most fruits and vegetables. That's something you want to keep out of your body. What is something that doesn't have glyphosate? Oh, I don't know. Meat, eggs. So you have a second reason why you don't want to eat grains, fruits, or vegetables. Now, energy drinks have been a tough one for me over the years. I used to drink 2 to 3 energy drinks every single day out here truck driving. Then I came down to 2, then I went down to 1, then I went to coffee. Then when I started doing the cereal again, it gave me the cravings for some reason for the energy drinks again. So I got back into energy drinks for a little bit. And I can tell you, I did not feel my best with those energy drinks. You do a caffeine pill, Don? Hey, Purple Lovin' Nana. Yes, energy drinks are tough to quit once you get back on them, but not impossible. You start eating the meat and eggs again, you don't have the sugar, you don't have the grains. It gets a lot easier. So now I'm back to coffee. My preference for coffee is, and I'll just do 1 coffee a day. I'm not a heavy coffee drinker. So I'll have my, well, don't see it right now, but my insulated mug, thermos mug, whatever it is, I will take in, put some ice in it, and pour the coffee in. Take it back to the truck, put just a little bit of stevia in, and that's it. Mix it all together. That's my energy drink now. And I'm not overdoing it, so I'm happy with the outcome. I feel better. I'm able to function just fine. And most people on this lifestyle do drink coffee. Now, there are some of you that don't, and that's fine. Absolutely fine. I'm not going to tell you what to drink. You're not going to tell me what to drink, right? But making healthier choices is very important. And as Dr. Lisa Wiedemann says, you control what you put in your mouth. You do. You answer to you. You don't answer to anyone else. You answer to yourself. And once you realize this, that you're responsible for your health, the blame game goes away. Because so many people try to blame everything under the sun. Why their health is bad, why their body is not the way they want it, and ultimately it's your decision. So it's your choice. What you eat determines what your body's going to look like, how your body's going to feel. Now, recently, I was at Ketopalooza. I am so grateful I was able to attend this time. And met some wonderful people there. Wonderful people that I now call friends. And I am happy to call them friends. But, there's a but. But, we all realize that we are responsible for our own health. Take care of your health, because no one else is going to but you. That's right, you heard me right. I said no one else is going to take care of your health but you. No one. Now, people can tell you, oh, you should eat this, you should eat that. Why aren't you eating this? Why are you eating that? What the hell were you thinking doing that? You make the choice. Now, you can either make good choices, you can make bad choices. But it's your choice. You have that freedom. Thank God we live in a country here in the United States where we have the freedom to decide what we're going to eat. Isn't that wonderful? I think it's wonderful. Now, the cost. Another question I get a lot. How do you afford to always be eating meat and eggs, steak and eggs? You want me to tell you? I'll tell you. When you're not buying everything else in the store, you're not buying the chips, you're not buying the beans, you're not buying the vegetables, you're not buying the fruits, you're not buying the grains, you're not buying the flour, you're not buying the cookies, the cakes, the ice cream. You eliminate all that. And you just use your money to buy meat and eggs. You're going to save a lot of money. And if worse comes to worse, you're going to spend the same amount that you do normally, but you're going to have all the meat and eggs you need. But most people end up saving money, and I save money just eating meat and eggs. Believe you me. I used to have a bag of chips on the dash here when I was driving. Lay's of some kind usually, or Doritos. Now, if I want something crunchy while I'm driving, I'll have a few pork rinds. And I had never tried pork rinds until I went carnivore. Ever in my life. I had never eaten pork rinds. I didn't know what I was missing. Aren't those things amazing? Aaron, what kind of cooking setup do you have for aforementioned meat and eggs? And it's going good, driver. Thank you for asking. I have a microwave. I have an electric skillet. I got one of those mini dashes, so I can do chaffles. I've got an Instant Pot. I have a Ninja food processor, smoothie maker, which I use for protein drinks sometimes. No, I do not put fruit in my smoothies. What else do I have? Oh, and an air fryer. I have an air fryer. Now the trick when you're cooking on a truck is not to overload your inverter. So my advice that I always give to truck drivers every time, use one appliance at a time. Don't overtask your inverter. So if I'm cooking eggs in the skillet or a steak in the air fryer or skillet, I'll just have that one appliance plugged in being used, and that's it. I do not compromise on that. Why do I not compromise? Because I want to be able to cook on the truck. Plain and simple. If I blow the inverter, I'm screwed until the company replaces it. And the company's not going to be happy if I blow their inverter because of my stupidity. You just got to use common sense. So you can cook meat and eggs in the truck in a variety of ways. A variety. So it's pretty simple. And I have a refrigerator on the truck. So I've got a refrigerator, and it does have a small freezer, but it does keep meat in there. Appreciate your answer, driver. Got myself a Christmas list now. Right on. And this, okay, I'm at a truck stop right now doing my 34-hour restart. The truck stop is just a oversized convenience store, in my opinion. You go in there, they got aisles and aisles and aisles of crap. Chips, cakes, cookies, Twinkies, donuts, all crap you don't need. But they have roller dogs, all beef hot dogs. Those are a good grab and go option. They do usually have burgers of some type, but check the ingredients. Some of these truck stops, not all, just a few, they will use soy in their burgers. Mm-hmm. So it's like a 50-50 mix of ground beef and soy and other products. So really look at the ingredients when you're at a truck stop, especially. Because, yeah, they're grab and go, easy. But look at the ingredients, like you should be doing in the grocery store. Look at the ingredients. My eyes were opened majorly when I went carnivore. I did not realize the crap I was putting in my body. And even thinking I'm eating healthy, that those plant-based foods they have that are highly processed, by the way, Gardein makes them. They were my favorite when I was vegan, was Gardein products, especially the fishless fillets, because they taste like fish, and I like seafood. But flip that bitch over, read the ingredients, and have your jaw hit the ground. It was an eye-opening moment for me. Beyond Burger, Impossible Burger. Those are two top items in the vegan community that a lot of people eat. I can tell you for a fact, they are harmful to the human body. They are not beneficial. Sure, they taste somewhat like meat. I'll give them props for that. They're scientists in this Frankenstein food. They did come up with something that kind of tastes like meat. And it's really fooling your brain is what it's doing, okay? It's fooling your friggin' brain. You're biting into something made of plants. I'm having me an awesome burger. Oh my God, this is so good. It sucks. Okay? It sucks. So that did help me develop problems with my health. And the doctor even traced it back to eating these things, letting me know what's in these things. So here's a, you want an eye-opening experience? I'm going to give you one right now. You can do this on your own. You don't have to buy the product. You can go to their web page, and most of them have the ingredients for their product, okay? Or they have a picture of the back of their packaging that lists all the ingredients. Go down the rabbit hole. Start with the first ingredient and keep going, and Google each ingredient. You're going to be shocked at what these things are they're putting in your body. Well, it comes back to it. You're putting it in your body. Like I said, no one's responsible for what goes in your mouth but you. And a lot of them have great marketing teams. They get paid a lot of money to make you think that you need this product to eat. And they'll use phrases like, oh, save the planet and climate change. And yeah, we'll get into that in a minute. I have knowledge that a lot of people don't, just because of my background, but we'll get into that in a minute. But they will use these phrases. They will. And they're good at it. They'll put it on their packaging, great for the environment or better for the environment. You see that all the time on packaging. No animals harmed. That was a big thing with veganism, and still is for a lot of people that are caught up in that way of eating. They think they're doing the right thing because they're not harming animals. But what they fail to realize detrimentally at some point in their life while they're on this path of veganism is the human body was not designed to eat plants. Now, we could tolerate them for survival if there is no meat to get, just like our ancestors did. We can survive for a time on plants. But make no mistake about it, our bodies are designed to optimally eat meat and eggs. That's how we get the bioavailability of these nutrients put into our body that it can actually use. So people are like, oh, you have to have fiber. That's another non-essential thing. There is zero thing called an essential fiber for the human body. Just like there's no essential carbohydrate and there's no need for sugar due to gluconeogenesis. If you don't know what gluconeogenesis is, I highly recommend you look it up or go to Bart Kay's channel and he'll tell you all about gluconeogenesis. Yay. The things we learn as we go through life. So a lot of people, marketing, we went over that with the plant-based community. But like I said, these people at some point in their life will develop health problems because anti-nutrients are a real thing. You can look that up too. Oxalates suck. Now, when I was vegan, I was told you should be eating spinach every day. You should have spinach in your smoothies. So I did for 7 years. Kidney stones are not fun. No, my friends, they are not. And they don't just go away over a short period of time based on how long you've had them in your system and how long you were feeding your system with them. They stick with you sometimes for several years. And it takes time to get rid of them. And it is not a fun process, I tell you that. But I did it to myself because I listened to the plant-based community. I listened to the vegans. I got duped by the documentary Forks Over Knives. A lot of people did. They scare you. They literally scare you into going vegan for your health. Turns out to not be such a good idea. And then you've got the social media influencers in the vegan community that say, oh, I've been vegan for 8 years or 12 years or 20 years. Different people can tolerate an amount of plants for a different period of time based on several factors. 1, were you raised vegan? 2, were your parents eating plants? Were their parents eating plants primarily? These things factor into what your body can handle and how long. Have no mistake. I know people that have been vegan over 20 years, 25 years. I think 28 years was the highest number that I recall. They had to switch back to eating meat because they didn't want to die. Now, mental issues can arise when you're eating nothing but plants. People think, well, if I'm sick, if I have these diseases, that it's better because the animals aren't suffering. And they actually brainwash you into this mentality of thinking. We've been eating animals for a minimum. Now, it's probably longer, but we've been eating animals for a minimum of 800,000 years as a species. Now, all of a sudden, after what, like the 70s or so, it started getting real bad, into the 80s. Our health declined horribly. We became obese as a nation. Back in the 50s, you didn't, the beaches, seeing a fat person was not something you saw because we were eating real foods. We weren't eating all the highly processed crap out there. Chemical laden, glyphosate. Yeah, that was my rant. We did it to ourselves and we allowed it to happen. But what we do moving forward is our choice. Do you make a good choice? Do you make a bad choice? Now, I'll get back to the comments here. Sorry. When I get on a tangent, sometimes I just keep going. Aaron, all right, when I ask this question, I mean absolutely no disrespect. Just trying to find out from someone who lived the lifestyle, why are vegans always trying to approximate meat with plants? I personally, I think it's a psychological thing, because if you think you are being deprived of something, it's going to create mental issues. So if you think you're eating a burger or a hot dog or fish, psychologically, you're going to be okay. You think you're going to be okay. So you're not depriving yourself per se of the experience of eating these foods, but you are depriving your body of the essential nutrients that these foods are not giving you, because of anti-nutrients are a big one. Now, plants have defensive chemicals. We all know this in this community. Anthony Chaffee, Dr. Anthony Chaffee, always says plants are trying to kill you. Over time, that is true. If you eat enough of these anti-nutrients and chemical defenses, they're going to affect your body, and eventually you will die. Now, some people take longer, some shorter. Now, there are some plants that will kill you instantly. You'll die the same day if you eat these plants. They're that poisonous. But we're smart enough not to do that, right? We'll just take the plants that poison us over a long period of time, and then we'll kick the can down the road each year. Well, when we're kicking that health can down the road, we're shortening our own life. Now, some people don't mind going through life with these chronic issues and pain because the animals are safe. It's up here. It's all up here. So what we have to do is we need to eat meat and eggs for our optimum health. Plants. Now I'm going to address the keto community specifically, and ketovore. Having plants, certain plants that your body can tolerate from time to time, is fine for some people. If you don't have autoimmune disease, seriously, you can usually tolerate certain plants. Certain plants. And one of the things about going carnivore is you're going to have the ultimate elimination diet. So you're going to eliminate everything except meat and eggs. And then you can gradually add one item back at a time and see how your body reacts to it. Now, for some people, they can tolerate onions. Some people can tolerate tomato. A little bit of lettuce here and there, fine. Personally, I don't eat lettuce. I don't eat any leafy green whatsoever. Oxalates are not our friend, and I do not want any more oxalates in my system. I've got enough to get rid of for that 7 years of being vegan. I hope that answered your question, Aaron. Does anyone else have any questions? I mean, I'm an open book. I'm here today. I have the time to talk to you all. I've got a great mobile data going for the live stream, so we're good. Cool. Right on, Aaron. Right on. So yes, I can talk about carnivore, ketovore. Oh, well, speaking of carnivore, carnivore athlete, one of my t-shirts I designed. It's in my t-shirt store, carnivorewerewolf.com. Click the top, my carnivore t-shirts. Got a new one coming in. It should be available tomorrow. It's a new Christmas one. It looks cool. Now, I did have one before that was a Santa holding up a barbell with two elves hanging on the end. And I think it said something like Santa says, eat meat and eggs, not sugar, something along those lines. This one says it's Santa, a muscular Santa holding a steak, and it says no cookies, exclamation mark, and then steak at the bottom. It looks amazing. Oh, and the new design for Carnivore Month is also available now. Yes, some of you remember I designed one for 2024. I designed a new one for 2025. And it is live and available now. My t-shirts are still only $18.99. I'm not into it for profit. Okay, let's talk about what I drink, because that's something I get a question about from time to time too. I drink, like I said, coffee. I don't do energy drinks now. Coffee. I drink water. I drink carbonated water. I do the bubblies from time to time. I'll do Waterloo. Has a pretty good product. That's about it, really, as far as beverages, other than milk, raw milk. That's my favorite. From time to time, not too often, but from time to time, I'll do heavy cream. And I'll put that in with some protein powder. Beef isolate protein powder, by the way. I do not use whey products. Nope. And the one I use, my choice, I use Equip Prime Protein. They come in several flavors. If you use the code, you go to equipfoods.com, use the code werewolf, you'll save 15%. Just throwing that out there. Got to put these little spiels out. But save you some money with a great product. Snacks. That's another topic. Snacks. I eat once to twice a day. Twice seems to be what works for me. If by chance I get a little hungry when I'm driving, because I drive up to 11 hours a day, I have beef sticks that I'll eat, cheese, pork rinds. They make great snacks. And it keeps me carnivore, and I'm not eating plants. Seasonings. Let's talk about seasonings. Seasonings are whatever the hell you want to put on your food, so long as your body can tolerate it. End of story. I use mainly salt. Redmond's real salt is what I primarily use. Sometimes I'll use Old Bay seasoning on steaks or chicken, fish. Garlic once in a blue moon, not too often. Taco seasoning. I'll put some taco seasoning and some ground beef and mix that in. Pretty tasty. Just a different way to mix up the taste for your food instead of, just doing ground beef and eggs, maybe some cheese. Throw a little taco seasoning in there, but not all the time. Just from, as Dr. Kiltz says, from time to time. And he is absolutely correct about that statement. From time to time, it's okay. Sweets. How do you kill the cravings for sweets? That's a tough one. It is. We have an absolute addiction to sweet things when we're consuming sugar, when we're consuming carbs. Don't ask me why. I don't know. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a health professional. But when we eat meat and eggs only, our taste buds change, our cravings change. And instead of craving that Twinkie, that donut, that pumpkin pie, you'll crave a steak. That's my biggest craving, is steak. I love steak. All kinds of steak. I love steak. And it's great for my body. I'm getting the most nutrient-dense food. I'm getting the nutrients into my body, into my muscles, and I'm happy. I'm not feeling deprived because I didn't get to eat something sweet. Now, having said that, from time to time, I will have a little treat with either some flavored electrolytes from Salty or the Prime protein from Equip Foods. Comes in different flavors. So I can have chocolate, I can have vanilla, salted caramel, strawberry. From time to time is fine. I just put that in something, either water, maybe some heavy cream, maybe some raw milk, and I'll give myself a little treat. Yogurt. Plain Greek yogurt. Just put some in there, mix it up, put a little bit of heavy cream in, and you've got what I call my protein sludge. Tastes amazing, has a small hint of sweetness to it, but it's a lot healthier than grabbing that Twinkie, grabbing that Ding Dong, grabbing that donut. And I do not eat the Chobani yogurts that are prevalent throughout truck stops everywhere you go. Have you seen how much sugar they put in those things? It's crazy. Nope. And that's another thing I can do. I'll take a stick of butter and I'll snack on the stick of butter if I have a sweet craving. Takes the sweet craving away instantly. Just like that. Never had a problem with that. Every time. I can count on the butter. So do we have any more questions? Because I really am here to answer questions, if anyone has any. Okay, Aaron, I've hauled Chobani yogurt from their plants. That's the main reason I won't eat their food. I got into cars. Okay, so you haul cars, I'm taking it. Purple Lemon Nana Chobani does have a no sugar yogurt now that I'll have in a pinch. Great. If it's no sugar, I got no problem with it. We don't need to deprive ourselves. We can have a treat every now and then. Just don't eat the sugar. I mean, if we're eating meat as our primary food, we're not going to have the sugar craving that much. And eventually it'll go away altogether because your taste buds will change. They will. I promise you. It's scientific fact. You will go from sweet to savory. And you're going to crave the savory over the sweet. And how long does it take? Okay. Once you give up sugar, fruits, vegetables, grains, basically all carbs, approximately 7 days, you'll notice some major changes in your body. Taste being one of them. Now, I'm going to go out on a limb here and make a statement just from my own observations. Smokers have told me when they went carnivore, they lost the nicotine urge to smoke. Now that sounds like a major health benefit, if you ask me. I've never been a smoker, so I can't speak from personal experience. And I'm very grateful I never became a smoker. Nicotine is very bad for the body. And you are taking years off your life if you continue to smoke. Dr. Berry will agree with that statement. You need to stop smoking. Bad for your heart. Very bad. I got my best friend that died. He was a trucker too. He died at a young age. And he was a heavy smoker, but he wouldn't give up smoking. It got him. And his eating was horrible too. But I think the smoking played a major factor in that. Pardon me. Bless me, for I have sneezed. Come on, you guys got to have some questions. We've talked about the documentary. We've talked about the sequel. The truck, the carnivore diet truck, will be coming out, debuting probably in January when I start filming for the sequel. Yeah. We've talked about food, how to start. Oh, meal prep. Meal prep is your best friend when you're doing this style of eating as a truck driver. Now, I know some truck drivers that go out for 5 to 7 days and then they go home. So what they do is they meal prep for those 5 to 7 days, pop it in the fridge and freezer, and then just heat it in the microwave, and they've got their meal. They know what's in it, it's healthy, and it's available. So that is one way that you can easily eat this way on the road as a truck driver. You can cook in the truck. Just go to Walmart, go to Costco, go anywhere you buy your meats, and just buy your meat and eggs. Put it in your truck. Use your fridge. Use your freezer. Use your cooking appliances, and do this way of eating. It's not difficult. It is not. I'd say the first 3 days are probably the hardest for most people. But once you hit that 7th day, you're pretty much over the hump. And, starting carnivore, yes. Let's talk about that. We're going to talk about the big shit issue. Yes, it is true. When you just eat meat and eggs, you're not having all that fiber, you're going to poop a lot less, which is absolutely normal. You're fine. You poop once a day, once every other day, you're fine. You don't need to shit several times a day. Okay? That fiber is not good for your body. Your body is flushing all that stuff out because it's crap. Literally. No pun intended. Your body has no use for it, so it's going to dispose of it. Enough about that. And yes, when you switch to eating more fats, because you're going to burn fat for energy which is what you want to do. Now, people that are overweight, understand this. Okay, when you're eating sugar, when you're eating carbs, and every carb turns to sugar, for people that don't know that. When you're eating carbs, eating sugar, your body is burning that because it goes for the glucose first. Okay? If the glucose isn't there to burn, it's going to go for the fat and start burning the fat as energy. So if you want to lose weight, eat meat and eggs, because you're going to run on ketones. You're going to not run on sugar, glucose, and you're going to lose weight because your body is going to start eating that excess weight. And that is where you find your energy. Another topic, sleep. Yes, it is very true. In this way of eating, you do not require as much sleep. I just said it. Sometimes I only get 3 or 4 hours a night. My body's just fine. I function perfectly. I have all the energy in the world. I have more energy than I know what to do with. Dawn, do you take electrolyte and iodine drops? I do not take iodine drops. I get the iodine out of the meat that I eat. And electrolytes, I used to use Element or Redmond's Relight. But lately I've been switching over to Salty. That's SALTT.com. Much better product. They don't have multidextrin in their product. So it's going to be healthier for you. And in my opinion, it tastes better. It also mixes better. A lot better. So that's what I use. Yay. See, I told you, once this gets rolling, this can go for a couple hours. It's just getting over that initial hump, because I haven't been on here doing a live for quite a while. I was busy filming the documentary, editing the documentary, and like I said before, I did all of that on my cell phone. But the sequel is going to be filmed with regular camera equipment, documentary camera equipment, which I now have. So don't say I can't do something just because I don't have the equipment. I didn't go out and raise tens of thousands of dollars to do the documentary. I just did it with what I had. And personally, I think it turned out fairly well for a first time. Yeah, I really do. And it's attracted the attention of some people that I'm really excited are going to be in the sequel. I have some surprises coming there. But it was fun. It was also fun. It's educational. It's to save lives is the main purpose of the documentary. And it was fun. I enjoyed it. I did. I like being creative. I like helping people. So if I can put the two together, why not? Right? Everybody benefits. Money. Okay. Somebody asked me, did I do this for the money? No. I did not do this for the money, because if anyone is familiar with YouTube, you do not make that much money with these views. We're talking cents. It takes a lot of views to add up those cents to be dollars. So money is not the reason I did the documentary. I did it to save lives, truckers' lives, and in the process, that saves you and your family's lives. Because as I state in the documentary, I can talk. If a truck driver, let's say they watch this documentary or another one, they learn, they change their lifestyle of eating. 2 years down the road, they don't have that scheduled heart attack because they did change to eating meat and eggs. Wouldn't that be worth it to you? Worth it to me. Absolutely. Saving lives. That's what it's all about. You can tell we a small group now. Yep. We are a small group. But I will say this. I do plan on starting up the lives again, doing more shorts. Now that I'm not filming the documentary for December, I told everyone I'm taking a break for December. No documentary filming for the sequel. Not starting that till January. And yes, it did take a lot of my time. I sacrificed many nights of sleep working on that documentary, the editing especially. It takes time, especially if you're using a cell phone to do everything. And that includes all the graphics I did, all the dramatic reenactment, everything. It was all done on my cell phone. I create my own graphics, as y'all know. So I don't use stock images. I use real graphics created by me. And people ask, what program do I use for my graphics? I use Canva. I do. I just heard of you in a chat 2 weeks ago. Oh, cool. Which chat was that? Boy, it's kind of dead here today. Surprised. It's Birmingham, Alabama. Oh well. More room for me. And yeah, I'm thinking of keeping the bald look. We'll see. Because one of the things I've got on the top of my head, I got a big bald spot when I have hair. So it's just like this center section that's just bald. And I don't like it. That's why I wear a hat all the time. Or why I was wearing a hat all the time. Now that I'm bald, I don't have to wear a hat all the time. I can just be me and comfortable. It's a slow Sunday up here in Boise, Idaho. I knew you were going to ask that and don't remember. There's been a few chats I've been in. Got some interviews coming up this year too. So you'll see me out there. Carnivore Werewolf will be visible again. And yes, I'm building a brand. Carnivore Werewolf. Some people, I'm telling you. Oh, you're not a real werewolf. Duh. Carnivore Werewolf is a brand that I'm building to bring this awareness to truckers. But no, I'm not a real werewolf. No. Purple lemon on a people busy getting ready for Christmas. Yep. Absolutely. And no, I will not be home at Christmas. Nope. I'll be out here on the road. It's what I do every year. There are drivers that want to be with their families and their little kids and everything, and I just keep working so they can go home. I'll go home in January sometime, probably about mid-January. Go visit for 5 days. Then come out here for another 2 months and do it all over again. Because I'm the sole provider in my family. My wife can't work anymore. Social Security's taken their time. They've denied her twice. They said we have to get a Social Security attorney. So we're talking time. It'll take a while. So I just do the best I can and drive out here, stay out 2 months at a time so I can pay the bills. And then I'm working on these projects to bring a little bit of extra income in. The YouTube doesn't bring that much right now, but maybe, who knows? Maybe this channel will really blow up and just go all over the place. I don't know. We'll see. And my t-shirts, I do sell t-shirts that I design, and it does not pay that much either. I take the minimum amount of profit from Amazon, which is like $4 and some odd cents a shirt. That's what I get. And oh well, let me rephrase that. Amazon, yeah, because they take 40%. That's a good question. How does that work? Yeah, plus they take 40% off of what I make, so not making that much money on it, honestly. I'm looking at another service that I might switch to. We'll see. They seem to have more products available and a higher profit margin without charging you more. So we'll see. On a more serious, oh wait, no, I saw vampire down here. Hold on, Aaron. What if I wanted to be a carnivorous vampire? Go for it. But on a more serious note, owner, operator, or company driver? I'm a company driver. I did the lease purchase with a few companies and wasn't all that impressed. So, yep, I work for a company. I get paid by the mile, and I have benefits. Mm-hmm. Carnivorous vampire. Interesting. Oh, and the reason Joe and Rachel know this from Two Crazy Ketos. They're really good people. I consider them friends. And I told them when I came up with the name Carnivore Werewolf, because they asked, how did I come up with the name Carnivore Werewolf? And well, carnivore, that's self-explanatory. Werewolf, however, I was looking for an animal that was an apex predator. And so I was thinking about it, and a werewolf eats meat, of course, but it's also a human that turns into the werewolf. So I have a saying that I came up with that meat fuels your beast. And so I just put two and two together and came up with Carnivore Werewolf. And here we are today. You were curious because that looks like quite the plush driver's seat. It is. It's a nice leather seat, and it's very comfortable. I like it. My other, the Kenworth I was in had cloth seats, and I like this better. The truck is bigger too. One day soon, not now, because I just literally moved everything from the old truck into this one, and I have a lot of organizing to do. When you live on a truck, you accumulate a lot of shit. That's why the back is closed, because I got everything strewn all over the place while I try and find places to put it. But one day soon, I promise a tour of the new truck, inside and out. So it's coming. It's coming. Oh, somebody asked me once when I'm out for Christmas, and I did the same for Thanksgiving, by the way. What do I eat? Well, the easy answer for that is I usually have a steak. If I feel like being social, I'll go into a restaurant. I'll find a TA or a Petro, that has either a Country Pride restaurant or a Skillet restaurant. They usually have an all-you-can-eat for the holidays, um, turkey and ham, and of course all the sides and trimmings and all that that people eat. I don't, but I can have all the turkey and ham that I want. Some places they'll have steak, so I can eat all the steak I want for one price. No, it's nothing like a Brazilian steakhouse. I wish. Holy shit. Can you imagine if they had a Brazilian steakhouse in the truck stops? Hello? I'd be there. But when I was at Keto Palooza, I went to my very first Brazilian steakhouse. And I loved it. I had never been before. The whole process was new to me, with the flipping the coaster or whatever it was, saying, you know, is it going to be more meat? Yes, or no, I don't want any right now. That was cool. And then taking those little tongs that they give you. I'm not kidding. They give you these little tongs, and you grab a hold of the piece of meat when they come by and set it in front of you, and they're slicing off a fresh piece. You hold it with the little tongs, and then you put it on your plate. That was cool. And the food was, oh my God, it was so tender, juicy, amazing. Oh, I'm getting hungry thinking about it. I will definitely visit a Brazilian steakhouse again in the near future. I am on the hunt for them now. And one of the things I can do, driving an 18-wheeler, you're kind of limited on where you can park. So I've found that parking my truck at a truck stop and taking an Uber somewhere is actually very feasible, and it gets me the food that I want. So if I'm going to park somewhere, and then I'll Uber over to a Brazilian steakhouse, have some food, then I'll Uber back to the truck. But I get some amazing food in the process. Can still taste that food. Now, unfortunately, and this is a big unfortunate, but I understand, there will not be a Keto Palooza in 2025. Autumn, she puts it on every year. She needs a break. There's a lot that goes into the planning for that, all the setup, just everything she has to do. And it's deeply appreciated by the community, and we know that she will probably be back in 2026. And I will go if she has it. Absolutely, I will. Now, I will be going and attending to Hack Your Health in Tampa, Florida next year. I will be there. Come hell or high water, I will be there. My company is really good about getting me into the areas I need to be in. If I say I need to be there for this community, they get me there. So I am very appreciative of that. I'm looking forward to see what Robin's got planned this next year. Should be interesting. There's more inclusivity as far as the health field goes and nutrition. So I'm curious to see what she comes up with. And yes, when I was in Austin, Texas at Hack Your Health, now remember, this used to be KetoCon. The first event I ever went to was KetoCon back in 2023. Then this year it was Hack Your Health by KetoCon, and then next year it is simply Hack Your Health. But that was the first event I went to, was in Austin, Texas in 2023. Met some incredible people in this community. built some new friendships, and I did the same thing this year in 2024. And if you have not been to one of these events, you should go. You really should. Now, I've been asked this question by a couple people already. Will I be at Meatstock in May? The answer, unknown at this time. We will see. If I can schedule it in and come up with the funds, then there's a good chance I'll be there, because a lot of my friends will be there, people I know will be there, and anytime we get a chance to get the community together, it's a good thing. And we're going to be learning new things. You always learn. Every day you learn something new. But when you go to these events, you're going to learn something new that you did not know before you got there. That's just been my experience, and that's a good experience to have for people. You should want to expand your horizons, expand your knowledge in this community, make new friendships, because this community is about community. It really is. And it's a very tight-knit community, but in the same sentence, it is a very welcoming community. Now, on the other side of the field, we have veganism. I have gone to one vegan event when I was vegan for 7 years with a friend, and that was, well, been a while. What was the name of that? Oh, crapo. They have an event every year, and I went in Portland, Oregon. And why I can't see, veganism just isn't important in my brain anymore. So I can't even remember the name of it. That's how unimportant it is to me. But that community is very judgmental. They're not as welcoming unless you follow their ways exactly. And when I left the vegan community, holy crap was I attacked. I did my no longer vegan video on YouTube here. Holy shit. I've never been attacked like that before. Now, I can take it. It's not a big deal. These things roll right off of me. I will respond in kind, but yeah, that also let me see the mental problems that these people have. Not all vegans have these issues. Now, some people are vegan just because for the animals, and I can get on board with that. Yes, even as a carnivore, I think the animals should be treated fairly, humanely, and they should be loved till it's time to be processed for our food. That's just the way it is. That is absolutely the way it is. We can treat those animals very well. And a lot of these ranchers do treat their animals very well. I'm all for that. And as a carnivore, we can get along on that. But yes. Do we have any more questions? I would love to answer questions for people. I really would. Really, I would. It's getting a little chilly over here. It was a little warmer yesterday. But at least I'm not in the snow like I was in Michigan. That was so much fun. Yeah, I know. We drive no matter what. Pretty much. But you've got to take control of your health. Like I said, no one else is responsible for your health but you. And eating meat, eating eggs, and yes, seafood is meat, you're going to be the healthiest you've ever been. You're going to reverse chronic medical conditions, reverse type 2 diabetes. And if you have type 1 diabetes, you're going to greatly reduce the amount of insulin your body requires. No, I'm not a health professional, doctor, anything like that. I'm just going by what I've learned. Inflammation is a big issue with people, and it should be. It hurts. Inflammation hurts. So if you want to reduce your inflammation, eat meat and eggs. Lion diet, carnivore diet, ketovore, keto, animal-based. You're gonna be healthier. Stay away from the plants. Stay away from the seeds, legumes, fruits, vegetables, grains, soy. Stay the hell away from soy. Anything that has soy in it, avoid it like the plague. Okay? Glyphosate, you don't need. Bad for your body. Oh, that reminds me. I started wearing this again. I just use it as a symbol of carnivore, my primal nature. I like it. I hadn't worn it for a long time, several months. I don't know why. I just didn't pick it up. But picked it up, put it on. Now I'm back. I think I did it. Maybe it's a psychological thing, because when I went away from eating the Lucky Charms and Frosted Flakes, not both, not at the same time, I went back to eating carnivore. So I went back to a proper human diet. Maybe that's why I started wearing it again. What do you think? I value your opinions. I really do. And do you have any questions for me? Because I would love to answer them for you. Ask me anything. Oh, that reminds me. You know who's famous for Ask Me Anything on YouTube is, he's in the vegan community, and that is Happy Healthy Vegan, Ryan. We've had a few sparring sessions before online. He was not happy when I went carnivore. That's fine. But he still clings to that, oh, I've been vegan for 12 years, nothing's wrong with me. Wrongo. He's having health issues. He's seen a cardiologist. And the only thing I can tell him is he's responsible for his own health. He believed the lies of the highly processed food industry. He believed the lies of veganism as far as their cult-like stance. And yes, like I said, not harming animals. We eat animals. They're going to be processed for food. They're going to be slaughtered. Slaughtering an animal is different than abusing an animal. And I want you to understand that very clearly. Very clearly. I do not believe in animal abuse, but I do believe in animal slaughter. Huge difference. The vegans try to tie them together, saying they're one and the same, and they're not at all. Which is interesting that his name is Happy Healthy, given how militant the dude. Yeah, oh, you seem like you're familiar with him. And yes, he's very militant. Not quite as bad as that vegan teacher, but she's kind of, yeah, she's kind of out there. This guy, at least, I wouldn't say he's out there. He's just very set in his ways, believes he's right, everyone else is wrong. It's the mentality. But it is what it is, right? At least that's what I think. Who cares what I think, right? Any other questions? I would love to answer questions for y'all. And remember, even, yeah, on my Instagram, just at Carnivore Werewolf, you'll see the graphic design for the new t-shirt. So even if you don't go buy the t-shirt, check out the design because the message is awesome. And it is Christmas time. We needed a Santa Christmas t-shirt. Steak related, of course. Oh yeah, that's a question I get sometimes. What's my favorite cut of cut of meat? It's gonna be ribeye. Love ribeye. Now, you may not believe this or not. I have a hard time believing it. I have not tried flanken ribs before. I think I'm gonna have to. Bella makes them look so delicious, doesn't she? So that's on my agenda. I'm going to try flanken ribs. I also need to try oxtail. I haven't tried that either. Love ribs. Absolutely love ribs. And I did make it to Terry Black's when I was at Hack Your Health in Austin, Texas. I did make it to Terry Black's this time. 2023, I did not get the opportunity. This year I did. Now, in my opinion, and it's just my opinion, the food was really good, but I think their pricing was a little overrated. Now, whether this is true or not, maybe someone that lives in Austin can tell me this. I was told by one person, just one person, so it's probably not true, but one person told me when we come down there for Hack Your Health or KetoCon before, that they raise their prices because they know the majority of us go over there to eat at some point while we're there for the conference. Does anyone know if that's true or not? It would be interesting to know. But I enjoy that. Texas Best Smokehouse is my favorite barbecue when I'm in Texas. It's reasonably priced. It's always tender and juicy. And you tell them, give me all the fat, they'll give you the fat. Because a lot of people, they'll cut it off because a lot of people don't like fat. They think they're being healthy by not eating the fat when they're doing the exact opposite, actually. The fat is where it's at, as Dr. Kilt says. The fat is where it's at. And when your taste buds change and you go for the savory cravings, that cooked fat, it's just, you know what I'm talking about? You just got that feeling when you're eating that fat. So I'll have brisket with the fat. I'll have ribs with the fat. And as a truck driver, they have them inside Pilot truck stops at some locations. So that's a plus. So every time I get to eat at one of those, I'm in seventh heaven. I love it. Absolutely love it. What else? Steakhouses. I love steakhouses. Once in a while, I'll luck out. I'll be parked at a truck stop, and either across the street or within easy walking distance is a steakhouse. It's a win-win for me. not only am I getting my steak, I'm getting some exercise because I got to walk there. And when I was at Keto Palooza, we did a 4.5K walk. Now, before I went carnivore and I was vegan, I was out of breath walking across the parking lot. I used to weigh 305 pounds. I did the whole 4.5K walk, and I wasn't even winded. That's right. That's what this way of eating can do for your body. Yes, I have extra weight on right now on purpose. And as I said in the documentary, I'm going to lose it with you, with people, with drivers. I'm going to show you what I do. And shortly, because like I said, I'm taking a bit of a break for December. But come January, we're going to do daily. So I'll have daily what I eat in a day. And it may, because of uploading speeds and all that at different areas of the country, it may have to be every other day, but I'll still have for the previous day. So each day will be on there and people can watch it. Because I can get pretty creative, actually. I just make it work. And then my friend Courtney Luna, she's got a cookbook out, Carnivore in the Kitchen. It's incredible. I use some of the recipes here on the truck. Check it out. Trying to think of anything I haven't covered. Aaron, just got knock on my window that it's time to unload. Fun talking with you. Hope to see another live soon. You will. Now that I'm not filming the documentary, I will be doing more lives. Yes. Does anyone else have any questions, please? Because I would love to answer them, whatever it is. But the human body itself, when I lost all the weight when I went carnivore, and then before I started eating the cereal, the Lucky Charms and the Frosted Flakes, I had lost so much weight that I could fall into a toilet. I went a little too far. I need to focus more on the muscle building at the same time. And I didn't. That was my mistake. I just focused on the food. Didn't worry about working out. Didn't worry about walking. Didn't worry about building muscle. And muscle is essential for health. Otherwise, you're just going to be this little twig walking around. Well, I'd be a tall weed and twig or whatever because I'm 6'4". But the human body has the incredible capability to heal itself if you give it the proper nutrition, if you give it the rest it needs. And yes, like I said, as a carnivore, you don't require as much sleep. End of story on that. And it's okay to have all that energy. Absolutely, it's okay. I'd rather have the energy than to be zapped all the time like I used to be. And I don't like being zapped. I don't. I don't think, well, some people don't mind it. They just want to sit back in an easy chair or a couch, watch the TV, stuff their face with junk food, or play their game for hours on end. That doesn't make me happy or healthy. So I chose to change my lifestyle because I want to go as close to 120 years old as I can get. Because a lot of people think, including Dr. Anthony Chaffee, the human body was designed to go 120 years without any serious medical issues. And if you feed it the proper nutrition it needs, 120, here I come. But I've got to deal with what I've done to my body first. And I will. I slowly am, but it takes time. But I am noticing changes. So it's for the good. Changes for the good. So I'm over that hump. No longer have the sugar cravings. Thank God. Not doing the energy drinks. Thank God. So I'm good with the coffee. One coffee a day. That's what does it for me. And as far as the sweetness goes, like I said, a little bit of stevia, not much. You don't need much stevia when you put it in coffee. Trust me on this. And sometimes I do an egg yolk in the coffee. I won't put the whole egg in. I just personally don't like the taste. But the egg yolk, it gives it a little something extra, plus the extra nutrition. I think it's what is it, 6 grams, I think, per egg yolk, if I'm not mistaken, for protein. Getting some extra protein in there. It's good. Butter. I've also put butter in my hot coffee when I have it hot. Now, lately I've been on a iced coffee craze where I'll put the ice in my uh, mug, container, thermos, whatever you go, insulated mug. There we go. Those are the words I was looking for. I'll put that, a bunch of ice in there, then I'll pour the hot coffee in, take it back to my truck, put a little bit of stevia in, mix it up, and I got my energy drink. For me, that's my energy drink now, and I'm perfectly happy with it. It tastes great. It really does. Now, some people put the chocolate or the chocolate caramel electrolytes in theirs, and that's fine. I've done it too. It tastes great. Absolutely. 100%. You're going to be much healthier drinking that than an energy drink. Now, remember what I said about going down the rabbit hole with ingredients? You do the same thing with the ingredients on an energy drink can and start Googling those one at a time. That's going to end it for you right there. I promise. So do we have some more questions? Anybody? I would love to answer questions. Any subject. I'm open for I'm not like some people. I actually will talk about just about anything. Do I have knowledge about certain things going on in our country right now? Yes, I do. That's because of my past and my family. Do we have some hard times coming? I believe we do, unless things change. Oh, let's talk. Oh, do I want to open the can of worms? I was going to talk about the drones. Do I talk about the drones? That's a difficult one. I said I might. But what can I say? What can I say without getting in trouble? That's the key. I guess the only thing I can say, a lot of people are worried about it. I was. Honestly, I was. Do I think there is overeating of meat? Thanks for the question. Save my bacon. No, I don't. I honestly don't. If you eat until you're comfortably full, you don't want to stuff yourself. You know, it's like, oh, I can't eat another bite. Don't go past that. I wouldn't recommend that. Protein. Protein is good for you as long as you balance it out with fat. That's the key. So eat the protein, but balance it with the fat, like on a 1-to-1 ratio. The drones. I'll say this. Yes, and you heard it here. Okay. A lot of people are concerned about the drones, and I was as well. And I had the inclination that where the government wasn't telling the people what it was, who operated them, why they were here, the answers just weren't coming. I felt they were being deceptive, too vague. So I did a little checking into it a little bit. The drones belong to us. They are United States drones. That's about all I can say. So when they say that we should not be worried about any danger from the drones themselves, that would be a true statement. They're there for a reason. I can't discuss the reason right now. It's very controversial. It's very... But they are necessary. I'll leave it at that. What's the next question? Arlene, like I go over sometimes when stressed, like extra bacon and sausage. That's fine. A lot of women have what they consider purse bacon they reach for. Nah, bacon's fine. Sausage is fine. Sausage really is minimally processed. It's not highly processed, especially if you look at the ingredients. Just find something that's got the meat and some seasonings. So I'm learning to try to stop steak eating 3. Yes. Eating 3 hours before bed is a good idea. It helps with digestion. It also helps you sleep better. I know that from personal experience, and doctors have pretty much confirmed that as well. Dietitians, nutritionists, I think they pretty much all are on board with the don't eat 3 hours before bed. Do we have any other questions? And I'll be in Pennsylvania on Wednesday. Take care of a few things. Does anybody else have a question for me? Oh, since I was singing. Some of you know that I'm also a music producer. Yes, I produced a documentary. I also produce music. There are several examples on my channel you can check out. I highly recommend you check out the Christmas album for Daughter of Night. I put together 1 minute from each song on the album. Enjoy. My present to you. Oh, and the documentary will be on the larger streaming platforms after March 31st. We're still in negotiation with a couple, but it's going good. I'll have a full list of those. I think I'll be posting those the first week of January. So you'll see where this can be seen other than my YouTube channel. But when they go there, they have to come off my YouTube channel. One of those quirks. So come on, someone's got to have a question. About anything. Yes, I love being creative. Love music. Always have. Yes, I'm a big fan. Oh, ooh, maybe I'll talk about that. Arlene, learning not to be perfect on carnivore. How do you do or feel? How do I do or feel what? Not being perfect on carnivore? You know, a lot of people aren't. Some people even put up a front that I've noticed. They'll eat one way for social media, but in real life, they eat a different way. They'll throw a little naughty here and there. And it's kind of the same concept of from time to time. Just watch what it is that you're being a little naughty with. Nisha is a really good example of someone who doesn't eat perfect carnivore or even ketovore. She'll have seasonings. She'll have things that, strict carnivores won't. And that's fine. It's absolutely fine. So long as your body tolerates it, eat it. As long as it's meat and eggs. I mean, I'm do cheese and stevia. Yep, I do cheese and stevia. Little bit of stevia. I enjoy cheese. Yep, little bit of stevia, but I also do cheese. Now, like Dr. Chafee says, you can use these things like a condiment, okay? Sour cream, cheese. Um, some people use guacamole. I do guacamole from time to time. It's fine. As long as my body tolerates it, I don't see a problem with it. And that's another thing, too. The animal based people are being more prevalent now. And if it works for them, it works for them. If it works for you, it works for you. And from time to time, I'm a little more animal based. I like cottage cheese. I really do. I kind of have a thing lately where I'll have all beef hot dogs and then I'll have it with cottage cheese. Sounds weird, but tastes good, in my opinion. And when it comes to your body, you have to go with your opinion. Okay, I was starting to say music. I'm a music lover, love musicals, have always loved Broadway musicals. And I watched Wicked the other day, part one, almost 3 hours. It's like 2 hours and 40 minutes. And I kind of was hoping I wouldn't like it just because Ariana Grande is one of the stars in it, and I wasn't too appreciative of her anti American comments before. Still not really, but some people are saying it was taken out of context, and some people are all up in arms about a black woman playing Elphaba. Um, she's green throughout the movie. I don't see a problem with it. Color shouldn't be an issue. She's a very talented young woman that can sing and act, and I think the casting director chose the right person. I ended up loving the movie adaptation of the musical Wicked. There's some surprise celebrities in there that I did not know were in it, so that was a treat. The music was spot on. It followed the course of the Broadway musical itself, and I was very pleased I finally got to see it, and I enjoyed it. Now, part two, we have to wait till November of next year. So we have 1 year we have to wait between the two parts. That's unfortunate, but it does take a while to put those things together. All right, what do we got? I try to stay ketovore, carnivore. Like I made red chili with pork with fresh garlic mince, but husband just said he had indigestion, so I will cut it down and do more garlic powder. Okay? So like I said, you got to do what works for you or what works for him for him. You each have to do what works for yourselves. You're responsible for what goes in here, and you're responsible for how your body feels. No one else is. Surprised it quit raining today. I'm glad it did because it's quite a walk to the building, but uh, yeah, it's a good exercise. But I don't like walking in the rain. Ariana sings beautifully. Saw her on Johnny Carson and she did many good impressions. Yeah, she's real good at that. She can impersonate a host of singers. Uh, so I remember her doing Celine Dion. She did really, really well. Really well. I can't remember the others that she did, but I was impressed. Her range, her vocal range is out of this world. Uh, hands down, the woman can sing. Not Johnny Carson. I mean Jimmy. Yeah, Jimmy Fallon. Oh yeah. So I will watch part two when it comes out next year. I was able to watch it for free. Part one. I have an app on my phone called Flix Synapse. That's SYNAPSE. Now, you can watch the latest movies that are out for free. You just have to watch a bunch of ads. Well, I got the time for it, so I get to watch the movie, so I got to watch some ads. Big deal. Because me getting to a movie theater anytime soon is probably not going to happen. So I'm thankful for that app. It's free. There is no charge for it. Yeah, I do not mind ads. I know what you meant. So what are y'all eating tonight? Today? What y'all eating? I haven't decided what I'm going to do yet. I might go down. There is a steakhouse about half a mile down the road. I might go down there. We'll see. Is trucking a life-changing job? It can be. You definitely have to adapt to this way of living. That's for sure. Purple Lebanon baked chicken thighs with butter. Ooh, that sounds good. Love me some chicken and butter. And by the way, my favorite cooking oil, it's not really an oil, it's a cooking fat, is always animal fat, but I enjoy butter and I enjoy tallow. Arlene, my husband's salmon, shrimp, and lobster tail and a filet mignon. Ooh, nice. See, get that seafood in. You know, some people are like, you can't be carnivore if you're eating seafood. Yeah, I can. It's meat. Hello? Just stay away from the highly processed foods. Even hot dogs are fine. Bologna's fine. It's not highly processed. It's minimally processed. And it's meat. Meat and seasonings, pretty much. You're Arlene. You're having a 18-ounce bone-in ribeye and bacon and sauce. Oh, I'm hungry now. I'm really hungry. If I wasn't before, I sure am now. I want my ribeye and bacon and some sausage on the side. Yeah. Yeah. Tender and juicy. That's the way I like it. Some people like dry steak. Mm-mm. Doesn't do it for me. Mm-mm. Medium rare. Medium at the most, but medium rare is my preference for meat. Oh, and that's something else I have too that I meal prep on the truck is what is it? Kelly Hogan calls them meat cookies, I believe. Just burger patties. You cook them up the night before and you put them in the refrigerator. And then you just pull them out and eat them cold. Um, they're delicious. And it's easy. And if you want to cook it up in the microwave, heat it up, go for it. I just eat them cold. But I'm weird like that. I even eat hot dogs cold. You heard me. It's a thing. Because hot dogs, I get the fully cooked hot dogs. So they're fully cooked right out of the package. It's just like eating bologna. Really, if you think about it. It kind of tastes like bologna sometimes. Now, a few more people are coming in. It is a Sunday afternoon. But yes, I am probably going to keep the bald look. Pretty sure I'm going to. I always said, and I've always told everybody, including my family, if I start going bald on top, I'm going bald altogether. Purple 11 on, got to go now. Time to eat, drive safely, and eat well, sir. Thank you. Thank you for showing up here, my friend. I appreciate it. You take care. Arlene, I like crispy little steak pieces like Michaela Peterson. Yep. She said her dad is moving from Canada to America, so it will be better for them. Awesome. And you look good. Thank you. I appreciate that. Michaela Peterson is somebody that I would love to have in the sequel documentary. I'll try and get a hold of her. Wow, we see it gets rolling. It gets rolling and it goes and it goes. We're over 2 hours now. And it's been a nice little community here today. Not too many people. You've been able to ask your questions. I wish you'd ask more, but we're able to get to them without a problem. Michaela is who inspired you. Awesome, Arlene. Yay. No, that's awesome. You need to be inspired by somebody at some point in your life. Each person does. It's like, why do you make a change? Well, so and so inspired me. That's good. Arlene, her testimony on Carnivore, and then her dad's on Rogan. Yep, exactly. Yeah, she's been through quite a bit. I've got a lot of respect for her. Questions, questions. I'll probably be closing it down here shortly. But I'd love to answer your questions. You've got me here today. So ask away. Oh. Yeah. See, I still have my hat. Me carnivore hat that I had made. This is what I used to wear all the time. Backwards, of course. Once in a while, forward. Just depends on my mood, but it's usually a backward. But going bald, don't need the hat unless it's raining. Then I put the hat on. Right? Because I'm a wimp when it comes to rain. Arlene, I had some depression and brain fog, and a hurt knee and ankle have all gotten better. Awesome. Yes, they do. Brain fog disappears, depression lessens, and then oftentimes goes away. Excuse me. Physical pain gets better, and sometimes it goes away altogether. I drive up to 11 hours a day, as many of you know, and my right leg is constantly on the accelerator pushing down. So sometimes it would get really sore. And then I went carnivore and that pain went away. It was inflammation, is what it was. So you get rid of the inflammation, you get rid of the pain. Win-win situation for me. I don't know about y'all, but I really don't like pain. I don't. I put up with what I have to, but if I can change it, I sure will. And going carnivore has changed all my pain. Arlene, with low carb for 4 years, my husband and I lost 70 pounds each. Awesome. Right on. And I got off diabetic meds and no more arthritis pain. With carnivore, in 2.5 months, he got off insulin and lost 50 more pounds. Right on. So he's off insulin. Great. See, that's the power of a proper human diet, as they say. Meat heals. Make no mistake about it. Meat heals the body. So who am I competing with today? Every time the people pop in, pop out, and the numbers get a little lower, I'm always told it's because I'm competing with another YouTube channel and they're trying to watch their live, and then they'll pop back in here, see if they hear something, then they'll go back to the other one, and back and forth, back and forth. And it's like, how do you do that? I couldn't do that. It's like, I'll watch the one, I'll watch the replay on the other one. I mean, Arlene, yes, I'm 67, he's 69. Great blessing. Kudos, that is awesome. You guys sound like you're doing really good. No channels I know of, but I haven't checked them all. Oh, I'm sure I'll find another channel was out there doing a live. And that's fine. That's what we do. I mean, I used to do these more often, now very rarely, but I'm going to try and do them more often. Because the more I do them, the more people will come in, ask questions, and that's what I want. I want to build community. I want to answer people's questions. I want people learning. Saving lives, that's what we're doing. Hello, hello. Earlier I watched Nia's 10 Things About Carnivore. Hmm. Hmm. Have I heard of that one? Nia's or Nisha's? Nia's Way. Okay, I'll check that out. It's one I haven't heard of. I try. I try to get around on here and check out different channels. And of course, we all have our favorites. We got to watch what the newest video is. But I try to check out new channels when I get the opportunity. Now I'm doing a 34-hour restart, so I have the opportunity today. I think the toughest thing with driving is I have to wait until I stop before I can check and see what's going on social media, see if there's any questions that people are trying to get from me, because I want to help people. And, sometimes they just have to wait till I stop. She's real pretty and does yoga. It was a good one. And she tries to be real upfront about her feelings and journey. Well, good. Most people should be honest, right? I mean, isn't that the saying? Honesty is the best policy, right? And that's why I'll say, you know, my life's an open book on here. Things don't bother me like they do some people. If you have a question, ask it. I'll answer it. And no, nothing pretty much embarrasses me. Now, I am looking forward to having the fat in the cheeks go down again. That'll be coming shortly. I was glad to catch you today. I miss seeing you. Thanks for today's conversation. It was a pleasure, Arlene. Definitely a pleasure. Well, I think I'll go about another 2 minutes unless someone has some more questions. We'll wrap it up. Thank you. Thank you for coming in and chatting today. Oops. Life in a truck. And living on a truck is kind of the ultimate nomadic experience out here. People live in their vans or cars and RVs, trailers. It's really no different living full time in a semi truck. I am a nomad. I am nomadic in this lifestyle, and I live on the truck. This is my home. I go visit my family 5 days every 2 months. Um, because I'm the only one making money here for the family. So if I'm not rolling, can't pay my bills, can't take care of my family. So that's why I stay out. That's why I do all of this. And I do this to help people. But I've got everything I need in here. It's a fully contained, self contained truck. So I've got everything I need. And yes, I can cook on the truck. Several ways to do that. Now I really got to ask myself the question, do I want a steak for dinner tonight? We'll see. I might go for burgers. We'll see. I've been picking up some brisket lately, and I think there's a little sugar on the top. Used for curing, more than likely. Dr. Berry even agrees that I wouldn't worry about sugar used in curing. You'll cook most of it off anyway. And I know some people that'll cook up their meat, and if it's got a little bit of curing for the sugar, they'll cook it, get that juicy, and then they'll dump out, they'll remove the steak, put it on a plate, dump out the sugary mix that's in the juices, and then they'll put their steak back in, and it's cooked off the majority, if not all, the sugar at that point. So if you haven't already done so, I would appreciate it if you would like the video and subscribe to the channel. We've got a lot coming. When I mean a lot, I mean a lot. And sometimes I think I really overdo my plate, but I like helping people. So, oh, and Hollywood. Oh, did I say Hollywood? Did I do that? Did I really do that? The sequel's going to have a few surprises. Let's put it that way. And yes, there's a lot of red tape involved in things like that. More than people realize. I tested my blood sugar and it was 103. You mean after eating the brisket? Who likes tuna? Anyone here like tuna? That's a real easy go-to for truckers out here. And yes, they sell tuna cans in the truck stops. Every single truck stop, you can buy tuna. If you're in a pinch, you can have tuna. And a can of tuna is not that expensive. A lot of truck stops even carry sardines now. Yep, you can buy a can of sardines in water. I recommend, this is personal preference, I recommend just getting them in water. Don't go for in oil. I like tuna with avocado mayo. Yep. And dill relish and a little stevia. Excuse me. Never heard of sweetening the tuna before. But hey, each to their own. If it works for you, go for it. But yes, I also use avocado mayo. And once in a while, I'll put either a little dill relish in, or I've even been known to mash up some hard-boiled eggs. Just depends. You got to go with what you like. I used to use sweet relish and Miracle Whip. Yeah, I grew up on Miracle Whip when I was a kid. I didn't know any better. Neither did my mother. But I use avocado mayo now. Either Chosen or Primal Kitchen are the two brands that I use if I'm going to use mayo. Yes, I also use yellow mustard. It's 0 carb. And let's face it, it makes things taste great. I love mustard. Here's a funny story. When I first went carnivore, I was a dipper, okay? I would dip my burgers, fries, tots, anything in ketchup. I would drown it in ketchup. Well, I had to change because I couldn't eat ketchup anymore. So I thought. I didn't know about Primal Kitchen and G. Hughes and all that. So I cut out the ketchup and I used mustard. But guess what I did? I dipped in zero carb mustard. And it worked. It wasn't as bad as I thought it would be, and it helped me transition from not being a dipper, a big dipper. I do a little bit dip here and there, but just squirting all that onto the plate and taking the burger or hot dog or whatever. And, nope, don't do that anymore. All right. So they're sweeter, and we really like our tuna like that. Hey, that's fine. Like I said, if it works for you and you like it, you enjoy it, eat it. We use sugar-free ketchup. Yep, me too. When I use ketchup. Arlene, yum, mustard. Like it with bologna and maybe a slice of cheese. Yep. Now see, I used to do sandwiches all the time. Bologna sandwiches, bologna and cheese, all the time. Now I use the cheese. I'll use a slice of cheese, bologna, maybe put a little mustard on there, slap another piece of cheese on, and I got my sandwich. Any more questions, everybody? We're at 2 hours and 22 minutes. Ooh, really rolling. Well, again, please like, subscribe. If you are watching this on the replay, thank you for being here. Thank you for watching the video. I sincerely appreciate it. You're helping the channel grow. Arlene, I do 2 bologna and 1 cheese sometimes. Perfect. Perfect. And yes, as Dr. Berry says, you can absolutely do carnivore eating hot dogs, bologna, canned meats. You totally can. And it's a lot healthier than eating the highly processed crap and the grains, the legumes, the soy. Stay away from that stuff. Anyone have any questions? Now's the time to ask them. Now, I'll tell you what, when you're walking down the food aisle of either a truck stop or grocery store, and you can walk right down the sweet aisle, the candy, you can go into the junk food, the chips, and you don't buy anything? My friend, you have succeeded. You have overcome that sugar addiction. Arlene, I talked to a nurse at Walmart the other day. She had a kidney removed and cancer and told her about carnivore. She said she knew they hadn't told us the truth on stuff. No, they haven't. They have not. Oh, and yeah. Will I go there? Yeah, I'll go there. There's been controversy over this, of course. When is there not controversy in the food industry? Or a way of eating? Cancer. 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 The question arises, can cancer survive on ketones. I do not believe, and a lot of medical professionals are starting to move this way, I don't believe they can survive. I think they'll shrink and eventually be starved out. Um, so to me, it would make sense to not put sugar into your body if you have cancer, if you have a diagnosis of cancer. I've told myself and my family that if I ever get a diagnosis of cancer, I'm not going through them chemo treatments and all that crap because it damages your body. I'm going to do what God has intended. I will live as long as God intends me to live. When it's my time, it's my time. But if I can prolong my life without all that crap just by eating carnivore and not eating carbs and sugar, why wouldn't I? I call it the ketone theory when it comes to cancer. And I'm going to bank on God and the ketone theory if that day were to come. And I highly encourage, because what do you have to lose? If you have a cancer diagnosis, go carnivore. Cut the carbs out. Cut the sugar out. Eat meat and eggs. See what it does. That's my opinion. I'm not a health professional. I will state that again. I am not a health professional. Yes, I'm a carnivore coach. I coach people into this lifestyle, how to live this lifestyle as a trucker on the road. That's what I do. I do it because I enjoy helping people. I like helping to save lives if I can. She was getting Kerrygold butter. Well, that's good. My heart went out to her, and I prayed for her, and she was appreciated. She was about 70 and on oxygen. I told her some people doing carnivore live longer. I believe that to be true. I truly believe the human body can heal through a proper human diet. I do. That's Dr. Ken Berry's phrasing. He came up with that phrase, proper human diet. And I give him all the credit for that, not me. But yeah, why wouldn't you want to extend your life? I had family that went through chemo treatment, and they still died. Maybe it extended their life a few days, maybe a few weeks. But all that crap they went through, why would I want to do that? Why? I'm good. No, really. Spiritually, I'm good. If it's my time, it's my time. It's not like you can argue with God. When it's your time, it's your time. But I also believe we are to take care of our bodies. We are stewards of these bodies. And if I can prolong my life, because remember, we were supposed to live 120 years without serious medical issue. As long as you don't get into an accident or something like that, of course, things happen. But we were designed to live 120 years, and I do believe that. People lived a lot longer than we do. People have traded the notion of fast food, highly processed junk food. Now, you can still eat fast food in a healthy way. Just eat the meat, get the burger patties. It's 100% beef. You're good to go. But that way of eating, just eating junk food and highly processed food from these companies, they make money off of you. And people have traded taste and convenience for time off their life. A lot of people think that 70, 80 years old is a normal time to die. You're done. You spent 70, 80 years here. You're done. Time to move on. I'm going for 120. I know it's possible to do. Humans have done it before. I'm going to do it. If it's at all possible, I'm going to do it. And I hope you do it with me. Love to see you around. Anyone have any questions? Anybody? Anybody? 2.5 hours. I think I'm going to call it there. Thanks for tuning in. Like, subscribe, share, comment, and we'll see you in the next one. There will be another one soon. Take care, my friends. Eat meat. Eat eggs. Get healthy. Stay healthy.